everybody, welcome back. So now we're kind of in the meat of the game. 2 people have died and we need to investigate and get ready for the class trial. And if we choose the wrong person as the murderer, we are going to die. So there's basically a motive, whatever. That's not the word I'm looking for. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. There's basically a really good reason why we want to choose the right person. Okay. And just like that, she never moved again.
No way!
What the? I don't... This can't be real. No way!
Well now.
Now I am painfully aware of the great power and meaning of a promise. I really wanted to keep a corpse from popping up for no good reason, you know. But I guess you all needed to be taught a lesson, after all. What an amazing promise. And now you guys understand, right?
Now you see just how serious I am. Defy me and you get shot full of holes, exploded, buried alive, disintegrated, etc. So, if you don't want that to happen to you, you'd best obey those school regulations.
Junko's body had been impaled with a bunch of spears. An unbelievable amount of blood started pouring out of her body. It was the first time I'd ever seen the moment somebody's life came to an end. Nobody there could deny what they'd just seen. Junko, who until a second ago had been our friend, was dead. She died. She had been murdered. In simple terms, it was the death of a human being.
Hey,
It's really not all that shocking. She just died after all. Just went and died. It's no more remarkable than the inevitable demise of the entire human race. It's just as natural as the evidential end of the world itself. This isn't some superhero comic, so it's not like when you die, you didn't really die. This is reality.
Why?
Why did you have to kill her? Didn't you say you would put her in prison or something? I changed my mind.
I knew it.
No, you've been wanting to kill this entire time.
Say what?
Kill this entire time? Don't be silly, you can't kill time. Or are you being metaphorical? Are you saying I wanted to waste time this whole time? Come on, what do you take me for? I'm Monoguma.
Well now.
Anyway, none of that matters right now. I have something I'd like to give you to help you in your search for the Blackened. This little file has all the information I've gathered about the death in question. I'd like to call it the Monokuma file. I mean, naturally, you guys aren't experts at this kind of thing, so you can only do so much with a corpse. So instead, I've gathered up everything I know about the circumstances and causes of death. Well, you know a lot more than we know. You actually know who did it. You have cameras everywhere and you've been watching them. And if you don't know who did it, how do you know if we're right or not? So you know a lot more than you're going to tell us. So that is not everything you know. What's that? How do I know the cause of death, you ask? Because the surveillance camera picked up the whole thing. I got to see it all go down. See, that's just what I said. You know everything. You know every little tiny detail. From where the person was to what the person was doing the moment before everything started happening. To exactly how long it took for the first event to take down to the moment that they died.
So then,
you know who killed Sayaka? Of course I do. If I didn't, I couldn't possibly pass a fair and accurate judgment during the trial. Now could I?
Correct.
That's a good point. The judge has to be able to make the proper decision. That's somehow comforting.
Well?
Now then, please put your full effort behind your investigation. After all, you don't have any choice but to give it your best shot. Seriously, you don't have a choice. Okay, so we'll meet up for the class trial in a little while. And with that, Monokuma disappeared once again. He left us stunned and confused. He left us at a total loss. He left us with Junko's dead body growing colder right in front of us. I don't know why, that makes me want to laugh, just the way that that's written and how I said it. And for who knows how long, nobody said a word. The fact that Sayaka and Junko were dead was a huge shock, of course. But there was more to it than that. It was almost the idea that one of us had actually murdered someone. And that if we didn't find out who it was, we would all die here. We'd found ourselves in a situation where we couldn't help but look at each other with open suspicion. It was the worst situation imaginable. And yet, even in such a perverse... Somebody help me out with that word. Terrible situation, she didn't show the slightest hint that it had gotten to her. Hey, now's no time to wallow in your depression. The worst thing we can do right now is lose all faith in each other. That would lead to some disastrous result as having total faith in everyone. To the same disastrous result.
What?
Huh?
In other words,
cooperation is absolutely key at this point. Who you decide to trust or not trust is, of course, up to you. Continuing to think and talk about the deceased certainly isn't going to help anything.
What the heck?
Saying stuff like that is just... How many times have I told you, anyone who can't adapt will die. Death is the only thing awaiting those who are unable or unwilling to adapt. If that happens, you only have yourself to blame.
That's terrible!
What an awful thing to say, especially after what's happened.
just a second.
Right now, exposing the killer is the most important thing. Because if we don't, we're all going to die here. She's right, we need to bring our search right away. Begin our search.
Of course.
Either way, we can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forward.
What the heck?
We just have to do it, I guess. What other choice do we have? No way in hell am I letting someone kill me. Alright, damn it, let's do this. We just have to do it. Everyone kept repeating that sentiment. They were using it like a mantra to give themselves strength. But they're right, we just have to do it. No matter how much we don't want to, we have no choice. If that's what it takes to survive, then that's what we have to do. On top of that, there was something I needed to find out. I had to know why Sayaka had to die. Why she had to be the one. I'm terrified to find out, but still, I have to know. Otherwise, I knew I'd never be able to accept her death. Which is why I don't have any choice. I have to do this. Okay, so, if you pay attention in my first episode of this, I said that I actually know the outcome of the first two class trials. So I already know who killed Sayaka and the answers and all that. I just need to go and find all of the all the evidence and put it together. So I'm going to try not to lead and show who killed Sayaka and why. I'm going to try to keep that to myself so that you can find out in your own time, because I think that's one of the best things about games and about watching games, especially if you don't know what's going to happen, is learning the outcome and finding all the pieces and seeing how they all fit together. And it's actually kind of funny to me watching all the interactions between all of these characters now, knowing who died, who killed who, and all of that. Because I'm seeing it in a different light. And I hope you guys go back after this, you watch this game with me and you play this game with me, And you see all the interaction, and you see all of the clues as to who did what, and because there is some funny things that the person who did kill Sayaka is actually saying, and it's like, it's not that it's funny what they're saying, it's just kind of funny knowing that they're the killer, and that it's got a different meaning than they're portraying. So, that's enough talking, I guess. Why is my mouse being weird? This is being really weird. I have my mouse on top of Celeste. Right? It's not even on Celeste. Now it's on Celeste, and it's picking up on Mondo. So that's really weird.
Hey.
Before we start searching for Sayaka's killer, we need to decide what to do about securing the crime scene. What do you mean? You're thinking of putting someone on guard duty, so nobody can disturb the area, aren't you? After all, if the culprit decides to destroy the evidence, we're pretty much screwed.
Hey.
In that case, I don't mind doing it. I don't like having to think, anyway. I'll let you guys figure it out who killed that chick. Okay, then we can let Mondo look after the scene. Well, no, we can't just leave him there alone.
What?
What? Why the hell not? Because if you were the killer, you're there alone for the most amount of time to mess with it. That's why.
Stop talking.
Isn't it obvious? If you were the culprit, what's the first thing you would do? By volunteering for guard duty, you're in a position to destroy all the evidence you want. What? Fuck you!
So then.
Fine, then I'll stay there on guard duty as well. That way there's no problem. Two-player co-op base defense with the two of them. With their stats, they're totally OP. Since we won't be able to investigate, we're putting our faith in the rest of you.
But
I'm still pretty freaked out, but I'll try. Okay, so... Nope, my mouse is still off. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I'm going to find out who the killer is, because if we don't, we're going to die here. Okay, I don't think it's going to let me...
Just a second.
Oh, hold on. Huh? Before we begin the investigation, isn't there something else we need to discuss? Oh, yeah. There's something... What else do we need to discuss? What? Hifumi? Consciousness has crashed. Restarting now. Please wait a moment. I just like how he talks like a computer sometimes. Okay. Toto. She must be so shocked she can't even open her mouth to speak. Huh? What's going on? Okay, well at least you're opening up to the idea that this isn't some crazy weird thing. Can I fix the mess? Yeah, I fixed it! It's awesome. Okay.
What should I do?
Someone got right in front of us. They... What else do I need to discuss about things? We can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forward. And the mouse is all messed up again. Great. Is this really happening?
Don't fuck with me.
Screw that piece of shit bear. Hey, Kyoko, you wanna...
Anyway.
Okay, we're going to find out who the killer is, because we're all going to die. What else is there to discuss? Nobody is saying anything. And my mouse won't let me click on anybody the right way.
what the heck?
I hate this, but still, we don't have a choice. We have to figure out who did it, or else we're all dead. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse, like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I don't know why you even bothered to check. After those injuries and losing that much blood, frankly, I'd be shocked if she did survive something like that. Huh? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Just wait a second. She's dead? Then that means...
What?
That means everything that's happening so far is real? It's not a joke or whatever? It's really real?
Let me
Oh
out of
no!
here!
Someone save me! Let me out of here! Somebody help me!
What's your problem?
You're just now accepting that? Well, at least he's accepting it now.
Oh,
So you finally noticed.
what the crap?
Huh? Noticed what? I was looking through the Monokuma file we received, and I noticed something very obvious and very unusual. Huh? What are you talking about? Go ahead, take a look. Notice anything interesting about where Sayaka died? Yes, she died in my bathroom. She died in Makoto's dorm. What? She's right. Then, could it be? Oh, great, now everyone thinks I killed her. Ugh. That's gonna be annoying. All at once, everyone's gaze turned to me. Hold on a second, you've got it all wrong. For just one night, I traded rooms with her. I did it because she was afraid. You expect us to believe that? You just tell us the truth. Just tell us the truth. I just did tell you the truth. The look in everyone's eyes had done a complete 180 from just a few minutes earlier. The feeling of suspicion and fear had returned. In other words, you think I did it.
So then,
Are we all done talking? We need to begin our investigation soon. At this point, we should split up. We need to get to the bottom of this and find out who killed Sayaka. We'll just have to collect clues to form a foundation, then construct an argument and come to a final decision. If we get this wrong,
so
well, do I really have to say anymore?
Actually,
I'd rather you didn't know.
goodbye.
Everyone pray for good luck. With that, Kyoko hurried out of the gym.
Goodbye.
I'll be going too. And just like Kyoko, he was gone before we realized it.
Yo,
Oh yeah, I'm on guard duty, huh? I'd better head to the scene of the crime. And that's right.
hey, damn it.
Let me just say this right now. If whatever son of a bitch did this is here right now, and they're thinking of destroying that evidence,
Fucking
they
dead.
better not let me find them. I'll skip the trial and cave their goddamn skull in myself. I'm serious, I will fuck them up. Letting his deadly words hang in the air, he and Sayaka ran off. But, I mean, we're not detectives or anything, you know? And we're gonna investigate a murder. How do we even do something like that?
anyway,
We don't really have to do anything in particular. We already know who killed Sayaka. No, you don't! I know, you don't. What are you implying?
this is.
It was you. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Don't come any closer. Are you gonna kill me next? Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot. It's not for sure that Makoto's guilty yet. That's true, we may as well at least just to check. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't help investigate. Wait, why not? I'm not good with blood. All it takes is one glimpse and I black out, then why are you still standing? There is a ton of blood all over this room. And you're still standing. You have not blacked out once. You stared right at her when she died. That makes absolutely no sense.
Oh yeah?
Well, whatever. I don't think anyone was expecting much from you anyway. Alright, I guess I better get going. Wait, don't go yet. You have to hear me out. But it was pointless. Everyone had already left. And their parting looks at me had still filled with suspicion. Does everyone really think I'm the killer? How did it turn out like this? Seriously, they've got it all wrong. Why do they have to suspect me? I have to do something. Otherwise, everyone will...
Execution is execution. Execution! Electric chair. Zzz, zzz, poison gas. Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
I can't let that happen. I can't let things turn out the way Monokuma wants. All I have to do is find out who really did it. Who really killed Sayaka. Okay. I guess I should look through the Monokuma file we got before. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. Time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist. Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture. We have no choice but to push forward. If we want to find out what happened, somehow I have to find out the truth so that we can all survive. And for Sayaka, I have to find out how she was killed. Monokuma file number 1 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Okay. I know all the information, so I'm not going to talk to these people. Yes, look at the gem. First of all, I should head to the scene of the crime, my room. We won't make any progress without investigating there. So I headed to my room, where Sayaka's corpse still remained. I hope someone's gonna clean that up. I'd better examine the state of my room a little closer. That might reveal something new. But I examined it already. I did that earlier in like the last episode, but you didn't want to hear it. You were just like, where's Sayaka? Where's Sayaka? You didn't care about anything that's going on in this room. There were scratches and gouges on the walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? Probably. It looks like there must have been some kind of fight in my room. Damn it, I was right there in the other room. If only I'd heard something.
Wait.
That would not have been possible. Don't you remember? All of our rooms are completely soundproof. So something could happen in the room right next to you, and there's no way you could know.
Well,
Perhaps this was another of Monokuma's strategies, creating an ideal setting for murder. This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, the sword's been taken out, so it's just the sheath. But, there's some scratches on the sheath. They must have been made with something sharp. But how'd the sheath get scratched up in the first place? Even if someone used the sword during the struggle, it doesn't make sense for the sheath to be damaged. I mean, if you're going to attack someone with a sword, the first thing you do is unsheath it. A heavy sheath like this would only get in the way. It could just slide off in the middle of the fight. So, why are there scratches on the sheath? Well, my guess is that one person had the sword, one person had the sheath, and the person with the sheath was like trying to counter the sword and like block with it. There's a key on the ground. It has my name on it. So this must be my room key. Yeah, that's what I would assume too. If I remember correctly... that's right. We'll have to trade keys. When we switched room, we switched keys too. So Sayaka would have had the key here in my room the entire time. But wait, if that's true then... how did the killer get into the room in the first place? Could Sayaka have forgotten to lock the door? No, that seems impossible. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? After saying that, there's no way she would have forgotten to lock it, or opened it for any reason. Well, maybe she dropped the key somewhere and someone else grabbed it or something? No, that's not possible either. Sayaka was in here when we switched rooms, and with how scared she was, she wouldn't have gone walking around, so she couldn't have dropped it. So, how did the killer... This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, it's been taken out of its sheath. I hadn't actually looked at the blade itself until now. I shouldn't be surprised it's coated in gold too. On top of that, some of the gold coating has come off of parts of the blade and the handle. Yeah, the handle especially is missing a lot of its coating. I remember the coating sticks to you, even if you just touch it a little bit. Okay. Huh? Looking at the lint roller, it looks like there's way less than there was before. Did Sayaka see how dirty my room was and decide to clean up a little? The toolkit is still inside the drawer. I don't see any evidence that it's been used at all. Which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's mine, and I haven't had any reason to open it. I can't even imagine a situation where I'd need a toolkit like this.
Yo.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Mondo.
Why?
We ain't exactly in the mood to be building furniture, right? So you haven't used yours either then.
Why?
Not just me. Nobody's busted theirs out yet, far as I know. Actually, we were talking about it yesterday.
By the way.
None of the guys have opened their toolkits yet, because, like, why the hell would we? Okay, so nobody's opened the toolkit yet. Hello, Kyoko. Hey, Kyoko. I quietly called her name while she was investigating the area. But...
What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? No, not really.
Well, then you're a stupid head, because it is extremely obvious what she's doing. She's looking for evidence. Obviously, because like, what would you do when you're investigating a room of a crime scene? You look for evidence to figure out who did it.
I'm searching. Searching?
She was down on her knees, carefully inspecting every inch of my room.
Did you lose a contact or something?
I don't know what she's doing exactly, but she seems to be concentrating pretty hard on it. But a few seconds later, she suddenly stood up straight and said,
Listen.
Are you a clean freak? Huh? No, I don't think so. But what? Nodding, she glanced around my room one more time.
I see.
Interesting. What's interesting?
Hey.
Just as I suspected, there's something very unusual about your room. Unusual? What do you mean?
So...
I've searched your floor from one corner to another, and I didn't find one single strand of hair. Really?
Indeed.
Not one hair from the victim and not one hair from you, even though you've been living in here. You know, now that you mentioned it, I noticed something while I was looking around before. It looked like the lint roller in my room had been used, but I never touched it. Could someone have used it too?
I see.
Very interesting. Your room didn't have a single hair in it, and someone used your lint roller without your knowledge. In other words, someone other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean. Was it Sayaka or the killer?
Well,
That's the question, isn't it? Okay, well, let's go look at Sayaka. The bathroom. And on the other side of this door is corpse. No, I can't let it get to me. I can't afford to freeze up now. Forcing myself to push my panic down, I stepped into the bathroom. Looking at her made it painfully clear it wasn't a dream or an illusion. She had lost everything that made her her. Sayaka. All at once I was overcome with dizziness, nausea, the urge to burst into tears. But I can't. I can't hesitate now. Why? Why did Sayaka have to die? I have to uncover the truth. I have to find out what happened. I wanted to give up. I wanted to collapse. But that thought held me up and supported me. Okay, so what can we look at in here? Looks like just two things. So let's look at Sayaka first. I told myself I simply couldn't face what I saw, but now's no time to think like that. I pulled out the Monokuma file to verify what it said about her body. Some sort of sharp object has been thrust into her stomach. That must have been the killing blow. And it looks like a kitchen knife, so I'm going to assume that we need to go and investigate in the kitchen. And once we do, we'll find that the knife is missing. But whatever they used to kill her, where'd they get it? I literally just said it looks like a kitchen knife. That's definitely something I should look into later. Also, according to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's right wrist is broken. Her wrist does look swollen and bloody, that's for sure. But there's something sort of glittery there on her wrist too. Right there, where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery. And it looks gold, so I'm going to assume that it's some sort of the sword's coating got onto her. Because it did say that if you touched it just a little bit, the coating would come off onto you. So she probably was in a struggle with the killer, and the killer had the sword or some piece of the sword and went to go and hit her with it, and she put her wrist up to block it, and just the force just broke her wrist and some of the coating came off. That's the only thing I can think of, at least. That definitely concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is, there's some blood on her left index finger, but that's it. The palms of both of her hands are totally spotless, so how come only her left finger? Well, behind her left hand it looks like there's writing, so I'm going to assume she was writing with blood. The stab wound in her stomach is what killed her, so when she broke her wrist, that must have happened earlier on. I mean, how would her wrist get broken after she'd already been killed? So it's very possible she broke her wrist during the struggle. The killer attacked Sayaka in the main room, which is when her wrist got broken. After that, the killer cornered her in the bathroom, where they inflicted the deadly wound. Okay, so let's look at this writing behind her, because that's the other thing we can look at. I looked past Sayaka to the wall behind her, and there I saw... What? Written in blood were the numbers 11037. Did Sayaka do this? I'm going to assume she did that because there ain't nobody else here.
It would seem...
It looks like you found it, right, Makoto? The bloody numbers, it's most likely Sayaka's dying message. I've never seen something written in blood before. It really was her final message. It's as if she wrote it with life itself.
Right.
Do you often talk like an aspiring poet? But the numbers she wrote, what do they mean? 11037. I have no idea what that could possibly mean.
So...
The way she wrote the numbers makes me think she wanted to use her body to block them. If she wrote them in that location while she was sitting the way we found her, it means she must have wrote them by turning only her hand towards the wall. If you were to write something in that position, do you know what the result would be? They would be upside down and backwards. The result?
Well?
Think about it. You're not going to tell me?
Makoto.
You need to uncover the mystery of this case yourself. Otherwise, the case will end and you'll remain unconvinced. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but it's obvious you're not going to tell me. It sounds like Kyoko knows what Sayaka's dying message means. But honestly, I have no idea. Oh, I know who I should talk to. When it comes to numbers, who better to ask than the ultimate programmer? That's Chihiro, right? I know what she looks like, but I don't remember her name. I think her name's Chihiro. It's the girl that looks like a little lost bunny. Or like reminds you of a little lost bunny. At least she reminds me of a little bunny. There's one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
Gets stuck? Yeah, I guess I'm the only one, but the door doesn't fit the frame quite right. When I first tried to use it, I thought it was just locked. But once you learn the trick, it opens no problem.
Correct.
So the door doesn't quite fit the frame, huh? But actually, I'm referring to the broken doorknob. Huh? The doorknob?
That's right.
You didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away what I'm talking about. I did what Kyoko said and shut the bathroom door. Huh? The doorknob. Oh, what's up with the doorknob? What the heck? The doorknob's practically about to fall off. Looks like it might have been unscrewed. Why is it like this?
It would seem...
Someone must have used a screwdriver or something similar to unscrew it. And if they had a screwdriver and our screwdriver is still in the toolkit, then the killer must have been male, because they would have had to have access to a toolkit, and only the guys have access to toolkits. The girls have sewing kits. Whatever it was, it's obvious this was intentional. What? It was intentional? Why would someone want to do that? Because they thought it was locked and they were trying to get into Sayaka?
So...
I guess maybe they were trying to get the door unlocked and ended up breaking the whole thing. My bathroom doesn't have a lock on it. Only the girls' bathrooms can lock, right? So they must have thought this was actually Sayaka's room. So there's something indicating that they thought that this was Sayaka's room and they thought it was locked, and that's why they needed the screwdriver. And Sayaka knew that it would get stuck. So she might have planned that. Like, planned they would use a screwdriver or something to get the door out. Oh, I think I'm thinking way too into this. She stood there for a while, lost in thought. Then, apparently, struck with a sudden realization, she shot a question at me.
Just a second.
I have just one more question for you. You mentioned earlier that your bathroom door would get stuck, right? Did you tell anyone about that? Oh, well, I did tell Sayaka about it last night, when we switched rooms. So, what you're saying is, only you and Sayaka knew about it. Interesting. She had the slightest hint of a smirk on her face. I got the sense that she was really starting to get into all this.
I see.
Then that clears that up. Huh? What clears what up? I'm so lost.
Goodbye.
Well, see you later. As if forgetting I was ever even there, she suddenly turned and left the room. Well, alright then. I still don't really understand any of this, but I've already given my room a good once-over. Maybe I should look around somewhere else. I should start looking into where the murder weapon might have come from, and also, I should look into the DVD Sayaka got. With Sayaka dead, I have no choice but to see for myself what was in that video. And on top of that, I'm sure there are some other areas worth checking out too. Maybe I should see what everyone else thinks, if they'll even talk to me, that is. Okay, so we should go to the kitchen and look, because it looked like it was a kitchen knife that was stabbed into her. We need to go to Sayaka's room to get the DVD. We need to check the trash room, because Mondo said that the killer might have taken some evidence, thrown it away, and this is our room. Why does it say Sayaka? Huh? This is definitely my room, but the nameplate has Sayaka's name on it. So somebody switched the nameplates. Yeah, because mine is over here and this is Sayaka's room. Huh? This is Sayaka's room, right? But the nameplate has my name on it. The nameplates on my room and Sayaka's room were switched? So all that effort I put into switching rooms without anyone knowing was totally pointless. But why would anyone do that? Alrighty then, let's go in and get this. We also need to talk to Chihiro about numbers. Even though I don't think it's numbers at all. Actually, I know it's not numbers, but that really doesn't matter right now. Because I'm trying to let you guys figure it out, so why did I just tell you a big, clue into who did it? I don't know. Maybe you'll miss that completely. There could only be one thing in the trash can. Yep, the DVD with Sayaka's name on it. Sayaka got really upset after seeing whatever was in that video. I wonder, what did she see? It might not be directly related to the case, but it might be worth checking out anyway. I'm sorry, Sayaka, I need to borrow this DVD. I don't think she really cares right now. She's dead. Okay, that was the only thing we need to get in here, so let's leave and let's go to the AV room and watch that. I wish there was a way to run faster. I mean, I know I can teleport, but I actually like walking around the building. But I wish I could move a little bit faster at some points, when I really know that I need to go to somewhere specific, just a sprint button or something. Move just a little bit faster. I should be able to use this to see what's on the DVD. The DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. I sat down in front of the screen and put the DVD in the player. I pushed play and the screen was dark for a few seconds, but then an image slowly appeared. It looked like some kind of concert. And standing on stage front and center was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there, along with her friends, along with the friend she said had been so important to her. She was positively glowing there in front of the crowd, so full of life. Seeing that image made it even harder to accept that she was dead. My vision started to blur and darken, and then that voice I'd come to despise so much began to float out of the speakers.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
Suddenly the screen went dark, and in the next moment, I saw something I could hardly believe. What the? Sayaka had disappeared from the stage, which was now in ruins. What I noticed even more than that was the figures of the other girls who had all simply collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Well, now we know that it's because Sayaka died. Without warning, the video cut off. What the hell? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. Is he trying to say he was even able to get them to get to them? If that really did happen, everyone in the outside world must be going crazy. What kind of person would take things this far? Okay, and with that, I'm ending the video here. I hope you enjoyed this extra long episode. I was hoping to get through all of the investigation this episode, but apparently not. If I make an extra long video, Again, I'll probably be able to get through it and the class trial in the next episode, but I don't think I'm going to be doing extra long videos all that often, even though it was kind of fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to do this every now and then, just like as a special treat. But thank you for watching and coming to see this video. We'll finish the investigation in the next episode. So like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Liking does tell me that you do like this type of video and tells me that I should keep making more of these types of videos. Turn on your post notifications if you want to be notified whenever I post something new. It's really kind of handy because it'll just send it straight to your phone whenever I post a video, which is really nice because then you don't have to like sit on YouTube and like constantly check every now and then. It just tells you. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!